Hey guys, today I have for you the top 10 perfumes that you can purchase under $15.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait.
With some of these, you have to get the 1 ounce bottle, and that's how you can get it under $15. You can usually find them at Ross, Burlington, Marshalls, or TJ Maxx. But other ones, you can actually get the full size bottle for under $15. And I'm gonna do this for $20, $25, $30, all the way up to probably $100. Also, some of these are celebrity scents, just letting you know. Not all of them, but some of them. So I'll start with some of my honorable mentions. I technically have 14, okay? But I'm just gonna call it a top 10, and there's 4 honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention is Paris Hilton's Can Can. I love this. It's a juicy cotton candy with a little bit of powderiness. It's delicious, it's fun, flirty, it's very lovely. It's just an easy grab and go when you're in the mood for a nice sweet perfume. And you can find this thing probably for like under 10 bucks, so for just the 1 ounce. So that's nice. I know this one's played out, but Britney Spears Fantasy. I love this thing. It's so lovely. It's such a sweet, fun, young, lovely gourmand. It's a fun, flirty, cupcakey with a little bit of a fruity kiwi opening. The cool thing about this one, at least the one that I have, this thing lasts like 10 to 12 hours on your clothes. It's super long lasting. It's super, it's just a lovely gourmand. I know some people have a history with this, so they're kind of over it, but I didn't used to wear it, so I find it very, very enjoyable. It's not something that you take very seriously, but it's definitely fun and delicious. And then we have Jessica Simpson's Fancy. This is a beautiful vanilla with lots of gardenia, and there's a little bit of powderiness in here too. You have to try this one in the coldest of cold weather. It just kind of blooms, it gets better. You do have to give it a little bit of time because at first, when I first got it, it almost seemed like the florals and the vanillas didn't really blend well. It seemed a little bit sharp, but as I've had it for a little bit longer, as the color has deepened a little bit, it's just gotten lovelier, a little more well blended. It's a very interesting, I don't really have anything else that smells like this. I think it's a very nice, interesting take on a vanilla fragrance. So I think this one's definitely worth it, and you could probably find a small bottle for around $10. Okay, now we're getting into one of my favorites. I love this thing. This is J-Lux by Jennifer Lopez. This is such a fun, pineapple-y, slightly unisex, almost like nostalgic perfume. It smells a little bit like the 90s. It smells like a combination of a teenage girl and boy in the 90s. It just smells so nostalgic, so fun. I love this thing. This thing can almost be worn like as an easy-going type of fragrance, but I feel like it can also probably be dressed up. I think it's pretty versatile. It's so fun in the summer, but I also enjoy it in the winter. In the winter, it turns almost like a fun, fresher fragrance. It just has some depth in there that's delicious. If you didn't know that this was a $10 celebrity fragrance, I feel like nobody else would be able to tell. I feel like it smells a lot more expensive, and I really like it. Finally, one that's not a celebrity fragrance. This is Guess Seductive Noir. I love this thing. It smells a lot like Mon Guerlain, yes, the original, except this has a little bit more sage. This is a little bit more creamy. I feel like this one is more approachable. Sometimes I struggle with the lavender in Mon Guerlain, but this one, I never struggle with this one. I love this one. It's almost like a creamy sage. It smells like maybe it could be lavender, except it's not lavender, at least not what it says in the notes, but it's like creamy and earthy and aromatic and slightly like a little bit powdery. It's so good. It smells so expensive. It smells like a very expensive, luxurious perfume. And you can find the small one of this for probably like $12, $14. I definitely think it's worth it. This is probably one of the top 5 fragrances that you can find under $15. And I think that if this fragrance was more expensive, it would probably actually be more popular, because sometimes people don't want to give the cheaper perfumes a chance, and there is some really good hidden gems. This is actually one of my honorable mentions. This is Guess Seductive Red. This is fun. This is like a cherry take on Cloud. If you like the Cloud perfume, I suggest you try Guess Seductive Red. It's the same type of like gourmandy BR540 vibe, except this one goes a little bit like juicier cherry-like. It's not a medicinal cherry, and it's not an almondy cherry either. It's just like a juicy cherry. So this is a really good one. But the reason why this is an honorable mention is because this is a recent discovery and I haven't given it enough, I don't have enough experience with this to know if it lasts a long time, but I've heard that it doesn't. But as far as the smell goes, it's very, very nice and I really like it. This is an easy reach, very fun, lovely perfume. Rihanna's Rebel Fleur. This is another one that I love. I love the mix of like fruits in here with the patchouli. I just love it. It's so weird because I feel like I don't love all the notes separately, but I love how this blends together. It's almost like intoxicating. It to me, it's almost like a perfume that I don't necessarily even love, but I'm addicted to. It's kind of like that, where I love it. I love smelling this. I love going back. If I smell this, like right now I smelled it, I'm probably gonna end up wearing it here soon because I'll crave it for some reason. This is such a beautiful perfume. I love this in the summertime. I love this in the winter. I feel like this can be worn at any time of the year and it takes a slightly different feel. In the summertime, to me, it smells summery, and in the winter, it smells a little bit comforting. This also blends well with other summertime perfumes like the coconutty, sunscreeny types. I think this one adds a little bit more depth to those. This is a lovely fragrance that you can find for also around $11–12. All right, next we have Yes I Am by Cacharel. You can usually find this one at Burlington for also around $10–12. I love this thing too. I love this only in the winter time. This is to me not a summer perfume. In the summer the gardenia comes out too much and I just don't enjoy it. But in the winter time I get the most delicious like caramel, almost like berries with like some florals to add some depth. I believe that's the gardenia, but I get like a delicious juicy, fruity, but also a little bit like powdery, I guess. But I don't know, it's so good. It blends so well in the winter time, and this thing smells like you're wearing an $100 perfume. I love it. I think it's so good and delicious. I feel like anybody at any age can rock this type of fragrance. It does smell a little bit like grown up. It doesn't smell too juvenile, but in the best possible way. I love this thing. It has a lot of depth, and you would never think that this perfume is as cheap as it usually is. Another highly underrated perfume is Femme by Usher. To me, this smells like a raspberry bush in the forest. I think I said that before. It just smells like a forest with some wild raspberries in the background. There's a patchouli that smells earthy like the forest. There's a tiny bit of something like aromatic in here, and then there's a little bit of the raspberry, but it's like an earthy raspberry, not super sweet. This smells like it could be some type of Jimmy Choo fragrance, or maybe something even like Mon Paris or something like that. This smells like a high-end beautiful perfume. And even the bottle, like, it doesn't say celebrity fragrance, you know, like this actually looks cute and it looks elegant, it looks classy. And this is like wood type of lid. I mean, I feel like this is a very nice fragrance. You can usually find this larger size for around $14.99 along with the travel size, and I think this one's definitely worth it. I'm sure if you're wearing this, I feel like nobody would be able to tell that you're wearing a cheaper fragrance because it smells a lot more luxurious and expensive. I'm sure you knew this was coming. This is Sofia by Sofia Vergara. Everybody knows, everybody on the internet knows that this smells like a very high-end fragrance. It smells like it could be a Chanel perfume or maybe a Lancome perfume. It smells a little bit like a combination of Coco Mademoiselle along with La Vie Belle by Lancome. It just has a very sophisticated woman vibe. It opens up with a little bit of like passion fruit. It's almost like a juicy passion fruit. There's a little bit of patchouli in there. It just smells very grown up, very sophisticated. It smells like a person who knows what they're doing and they have their ish together, you know? It smells very lovely. This is an easy reach if that's the vibe you're going for. This would be perfect for like an office setting. I mean, as long as you don't overspray it. But I just feel like this smells sophisticated, so it smells expensive. And you can find the small one of this for around $12–13. And the other one that goes along with this one is Love by Sofia Vergara. This smells a little bit like that, but this one goes a little bit more in the vibes of maybe something like Black Opium, but not really. But this to me is like a sexier, more night out kind of version. This is definitely this one's sexy sister. It's just sexier. Like, I just love the notes. This one just has like more depth and something a lot more alluring. I'm not sure on the longevity of this one. I know this one lasts moderately well, and I haven't tested this one enough to know how long it lasts, but the scent is very sexy, very alluring and feminine. I really enjoy this one as well. Another one that is way newer to my collection, except the reason why it's in here is because as soon as I got it, I just fell really in love with it. This thing smells really, really good. It does not smell like a $14 perfume, which is what I paid for it. I think I got this on Amazon, and it smells like some super like niche gourmand perfume. I think it smells very high-end. It smells very sexy. This smells like chocolate and vanilla, some fluffy chocolate and vanilla dessert. It's just so delicious. And the longevity is moderate from what I've experienced so far. I think it's really good. This is way up there. This is one of the best cheap fragrances that I've purchased. I think this one's definitely worth checking out. It's very, very yummy.
Yummy.
I know I featured this one recently in a different video, but this one absolutely belongs in here. You can usually find the smaller bottle of this for also like $11.99. I saw it myself the other day at Ross. This smells amazing, delicious, tea, but sweet. But there's also some florals grounding it. It has a lot of depth. It's so versatile. This is a perfect all year round fragrance. This smells expensive. This smells like it could be something made by like Jo Malone or something like that. This is simply a beautiful fragrance. It's very timeless and ageless. I definitely recommend this one. I don't really recommend a lot of perfumes, but I love this one. And definitely one of the top 5, if not the top fragrance under $15 is La Rehab Fleur de Femme. This smells like Poison Girl, but a little bit more like cherry-like. This is a beautiful, powdery, almondy, delicious gourmand with a lot of vanilla in the base. This smells sophisticated, classy, elegant. It's a beautiful gourmand. It's so beautiful for the winter time. Definitely one of like the top 3 perfumes in under $15. I love this thing. It's beautiful. If you love Poison Girl, you would definitely love this one. Okay. So that's all for my top 10. That's all for my top 10 under $15. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have to get going because my son is in here already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. This smells like...
My dad.
Oh my gosh, literally I'm in the middle of something.
Mommy.
This is definitely one to try because... Dude, if you guys haven't tried this, I recommend you guys give this a try. Dude.